Soccer is the only sport where the game rules allow and even encourage players to physically use their head in a technique called heading. Just in the last few years, officials have limited or banned heading in youth soccer practices and games. The impact from a header causes the brain to move around inside the skull. The same happens when a person's subjected to rapid acceleration, like a car crash, or explosion blast waves. In all of these cases, regions of high and low pressure occur in the brain, which cause tiny bubbles to rapidly grow and collapse, leading to cracks in the brain tissue. There's still very little known about the short term effects of heading, but research does show that repeated heading, just like other repeated mild brain injuries, are linked to diseases like dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. What's tricky is that neither CAT scan nor MRI can detect mild brain injuries. They're diagnosed by symptoms. The only way to know the severity of damage sustained by heading a soccer ball, being tackled on a football field, or being near a bomb explosion is after a person dies, and that's if they've donated their brain for traumatic brain injury studies. Maybe you've heard of CTE. After a large number of former professional American football players donated their brains and were diagnosed post-mortem by autopsy. So far, little research makes the connection between other sports or blast wave exposure to diseases like CTE and Alzheimer's. The goal of my research is to study these mild bubble injuries in mouse brains. I've developed a technique to study the physics of bubbles, cracks in brain tissue, and measure the extent of damage. I study specific cells called astrocytes, which regulate the immune response in the brain. After I cause a bubble injury, like you see in blue, astrocytes become active and form scar tissue to protect the injured region and promote healing, like you see in green. I'm interested in the proteins that these astrocytes secrete at an early and late healing phase compared to the proteins that accumulate in diseases like CTE and Alzheimer's. With this information, doctors have a window of opportunity after the brain heals from injury to prevent the accumulation of proteins leading to these neurodegenerative diseases. This research could prevent the long-term neurodegenerative effects that cause lifelong suffering for many professional athletes and veterans.